Grayson?
Good
That's not bad.
afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the reception table. Tonight, I am joined with my lovely guests.
Awesome.
Oh, there seems to be something wrong. Hold on, one moment.
No, there's not. It's a bit.
There we
It's
are.
a bit.
We had an issue with the reception. Excuse me.
If you,
You can't keep getting away with this.
he can't keep getting away with this.
Nah,
Now.
I knew it was going to happen.
To introduce my lovely guests, starting from left to right, if you will, with Ari.
Hi, I'm Arya. I'm also James in my life. Teehee.
Astrid.
And then Justin.
Hello! Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's really hot and I hate summer.
Mood.
Mood.
From left to right, Domino.
Hey, I am Domino Lavanna. It's nice to be back on time. Of course.
Of course. And Satira.
Hello. I am Satira. I'm excited and I'm scared. Woo!
All right,
Don't
you're
be
coming through a
scared.
bit quiet, I believe. Hold on one moment. Like, actually, you're coming through quiet.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It sounded fine on the stream.
Nothing's wrong
Okay,
with my
you're good on the
reception.
stream. It was just a me error.
Hey.
Is there
Okay,
something
okay.
wrong with the real reception?
There's
Oh,
something
is that what you're
actually
saying?
wrong with the reception. No.
Wow.
Now, do we have any updates before we get ourselves into the recap and the beginning of the game?
Alright, for those of you who have been steadily watching the podcasts as they've been coming up, technically we're like an episode behind because some of the
Mhm.
episodes that we put a podcast on is an episode back from what we have to deal with. So just keep that in mind. That's a pre-recorded thing, and you know we'll worry about that. But that's all I have.
All right. And with that, we're going to get into tonight's episode. Last we left off. Oh, one more notification. You might notice that Calicath isn't quite here yet. He is making his way here. Unfortunately, work has him tied, but he'll be joining us a little bit late today. But he will be here. Now, last we left off within Crossroads, we were looking to find Canton Prin, Smoking Joe, and the mysterious third person carrying the Silver Vine. A mystical artifact, weapon, plant, unknown, but something that was brought down here from the north in order to deal with a problem, a dragon known as Torm. However, upon the delivery, something went wrong. Our carrier of the vine, Astrid, and his previous party split, though not of Astrid's choice. He was left behind. Mysteriously in the middle of the night, the party he was traveling with, his teacher and master in the monastery, Canton Prin, and the guy that they had hired ran off, disappearing into the night with the vine. Astrid then went on a search, and through that search picked up several party members that you see with us today. A criminal, a hero, another criminal, and an artist. It's been a long and arduous journey, but now we are on the cusp of finding the illustrious and mysterious Canton Prin and Smoking Joe to find out what they've been up to. As for the last episode, they were just found the hideout in which they were staying in, and through searching and going to the downstairs, they found a poor woman manacled to the wall with a vine sprouting through her back and out her neck into the stonework of a wall, as though it had been growing there for years, anchoring itself deep into the concrete. But before they could help her, a voice called out from behind. As the party member they had carried along, Pearl Everhome, looked up with a dark gold mask upon himself. And we'll pick up with you guys as you see him start to struggle and fight and he's tearing at his face, and this gold mask begins to flourish and start to appear onto his head. As he takes a few steps backwards, this sudden jolt of energy as you guys turn around to see him currently struggling to rip it off of his face, but he seems to not be able to get a good hold on it as he pulls and pulls. You can see blood starting to kind of come down from the sides of his mouth, from the sides at the top of his head where the mask is starting to make its form around him. What are you guys doing?
I will immediately command, shout at Astrid, grab him, pin him down.
I will also
hearing
assist Justin with this.
Yes, hearing Zatira say that without even giving a second thought, I quickly turn around and run towards Pearl to tackle him to the ground.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll.
I'll assist them.
Okay, you guys all run to go and tackle Pearl. Astrid, you're the quickest, and then Domino. I want you both to roll athletics checks as you guys try to jump on top of him and knock him down.
Oh no.
9.
A
No, a natural 1.
A natural
When I
one.
give anyone.
I'm
I've
afraid
also
those two are
said
the
I was
quickest ones to
helping.
jump at this event, and unfortunately they don't make it before a gust of wind kind of billows out from Pearl. As he looks up, there's this mask upon his face, and there's almost a glow appearing in the room. Even though there's nothing, the torchlight that you had after it goes out as it kind of falls from your hand down. The room gets covered in darkness, and then there's nothing but complete silence for a second before the glow of the gold appears as he looks his head upwards and a voice billows outwards.
What the hell do you want?
As soon as it appears, there's the scream outwards as this voice goes, yelling that they're with the bugbears to go now. They're with them now. Pearl rips it off of his face, and the mask itself shatters into the air. It takes a few steps back and almost takes a knee. He seems to have outwilled it, and he looks up with a fright in his eyes.
Senor, are you okay?
I don't know. And you see him quickly turn around. He reaches for his bag and he opens it up, and you can see him reach his hand on the cloth. His mask's still in the bag.
What?
How was that?
I don't know.
How did you get a gold mask, senor?
I've had
He's
it.
always had that.
And it's not the mask that he has isn't showing. It's currently in wrappings in the bag. And the mask that he pulls off his face, it shatters into the dust, into the air as he's kind of like reaching in. There's a cut upon the top of his left brow as it's kind of bleeding a bit. He kind of reaches for it.
All right. Are you okay? Do you need any help? I can heal if you need anything.
You remembered what happened to you?
Yeah. Were you conscious during that? What
I don't know.
What happened?
I think I was.
Alright.
I saw.
Can I roll
saw
insight
things.
on that?
You could roll insight on that.
I want to know. So I'm trying to see if I can tell if he's trying to fake it, or is he actually distraught?
That'd be a very impressive fake.
Oh, okay, well, I rolled a 4, so it doesn't matter.
You can see him breathing really heavily.
Gotta get the bad rolls out.
It was a very sudden interaction, and as quickly as it appeared, it was gone. And he's just kind of stammering with his breath. You can't really gather much more than his physical form. There's like as much as everything went from the calmness to such a sudden burst of energy. You can see him like there's sweat on his neck, and he kind of reaches down. And he goes, I think I saw a church, some sort. And he's just reaching for his head. He looks a little dazed.
You remembered what you just said while you were possessed?
I wasn't. I had a vision. I was in a church. They were there. I was very tall. I don't know. It was just for a moment.
Oh. Well, I guess we know where the guys we're looking for are.
Yes. While you were possessed, you said they are with the bugbears. And that would line up with the direction they were heading.
Okay. Did you see anything? How did that happen? How did I? And you see he's like kind of bewildered and where this spell came from, and overall is shooken. Oh. What did you see? Was there? How did? And he doesn't. I don't understand magic. Not like this.
One moment you were normal, another moment you were freaking out, and then a mask appeared on you. Billowing winds, and then this shouting voice. You told us that they're with the bugbears, and that was it.
Then we go. I don't know. Let's help her first, though.
Right.
Yeah.
I look back at her to see her condition after that.
Interestingly, after that event happened, she kind of got overwhelmed with a lot of that, and you can see that her consciousness is still fleeting, and her reaction was very mute. Not really for the lack of like not caring about what's going on, but more about the inability to. So much blood's lost, so much injury. It's evident that she didn't even have the ability to really have panic at this point.
All right. I think before we were gonna try and have Kalakath try and use acid splash on the welded lock to get that neck brace off of her, so then we could actually try and free her.
You
Is the lock on the wall like attached to anything specific, or is it just attached to the wall itself?
The brace on her neck is just flat out. It is welded and melded to like as you look at. There is stonework, but you have no frame of reference on how deep the metal possible box, possible anchor could be for that end of the brace, as there's just it's like completely welded onto whatever metal facing there was behind it.
Like it's welded to the metal brace.
Welded to the metal brace is welded seemingly to the wall, as there's this other square of metal that it's connected to at the moment.
Okay. That was my idea. All right. Kalakath, you think you can acid her up? The metal,
Be
not
careful
her.
with it.
I could give it a shot. And you see him start to walk his way upwards. Let's see.
Try and point it away from her direction when you shoot it, alright?
Yeah. Wasn't planning on corroding her neck. And he kind of like takes a crouch.
Just pointed it out the obvious.
Well, that's good to hear.
And I'll
Glad
tell
we're
you
on the
when to
same
breathe
page.
next time. And he kind of gives a bit of sass as he goes for it. Let's see. All right.
Breathe.
With that, he takes a breath, and you can see he pulls out the coin, holding it in his hand, and he kind of wipes his hand onto the lock. And what's left on the lock is this like viscous green goo that sits there for a second. And for a second, nothing happens. And then a small piece of steam begins to billow upwards. Ever so, quite little, but steam nonetheless, as the acid begins to do his work. I don't know how long this is going to take, but we got acid on there. And with that, it continues to hiss and burn away.
You could apply a little bit more to make it work a little bit faster.
Or maybe at multiple points.
I can do that. And he looks at the proximity of the lock in her neck as he put it to the farthest end, and he goes, that could be a bit risky, but, and he kind of
Yeah,
leans
I
his
don't
hand a
think
bit
it's
closer. I'm
risky.
gonna have him roll his dex mod. Sorry.
Can we put anything... Zatira, do you think it would be wise to put anything between her neck and the chain, like if we have any cloth, just so no droplets of acid
I think
fall
the
on her
neck
neck?
brace is doing that for us.
Yes, but an extra layer of protection probably would be well. I don't
have
carry
anything that
shield.
wouldn't also be corroded right through.
Right. Well, if that's the case, DM,
Mhm.
I'm going to cut the edge of my cape and make a little neckerchief for her.
Okay. You kind of like
and try and
slice the
put
cape.
it-
Yeah.
Try and put it underneath the chain, just so
Mhm.
it's not a direct.
Yeah.
Not
Directly
gonna have it
touching.
drip. Not gonna have it drip onto her.
Yeah, yeah. At least have something there.
That makes sense. You kind of push the cloth in between the spot where you're pushing the skin in a little bit, in between the skin and the actual neck brace as you kind of get it up there. And she's weakly looks over to the left a bit and look and kind of like see it. You can see there's almost like a grayness in her eyes as like her just energies like something. She's just lost a lot. And as he's like, all right, I'm gonna give this a shot then. Or I'm gonna give this a shot then. And he puts his hand a bit closer to where the metal would be thinner, not directly in the lock. And again, you see him wipe it down. And this time, when it goes, a good glob of it kind of comes out. And then as he lets go, almost like if you had like some like the end of like a cup or a table, you kind of like do that. A piece of it kind of splotches down and falls onto her shoulder. And there's a shit as he kind of like tries to reach for it, and you start to see her skin much faster than the metal, kind of like acids, like there's a steam rolling upwards, and he's like patting it, not sure what to do. Fuck.
Right. Can I use a reaction
Use
to?
claw to catch that, yeah.
Yeah.
Not to
only-
catch it.
No, I was gonna say to healing hand her.
As you as you reach down to heal as well, there's a moment where as you step up to do so, Kalikath stops patting for a second, and then is more interested and pulls at the skin backwards, and his eyebrows furrow as he starts to realize that it's tearing the skin, but not going deep in any sort of way. And he looks up and he goes, and he points over, and you can see there's this blue, almost viney presence where the damage was, the splotches were.
Oh. Hey, Zatira, and also
Right.
Kalikath, and Astrid, and
Mhm.
Maria.
You don't have to say all the names individually. You can just
Naomi
say,
in the
"Hey,
back goes,
everyone."
I'm here too.
Hey,
Yeah,
Naomi.
yeah.
I think the issue is a little bit deeper, than we had intended. I'm still gonna try
Yes,
to
we
heal her.
knew
though.
that.
And you go for the healing. Go ahead and do you do you have a roll for that? How does that work?
I'm gonna spend 10 heal HP points
Hmm.
to heal her 10.
Okay. And as you place your hand to heal onto her, there's a how does your healing? What would be the aesthetic as the magic surges up your body and into your hands?
Well, it is quite simple. My cape, the flowers on my cape begin to glow and not grow, but sort of animate a little bit more,
Hmm.
get a little bit more active, and that energy goes down to my hands and creates a silvery aesthetic.
Ooh.
And that's where the healing happens.
And as you begin to illuminate the room slightly, and the figures around you as well, as they're all peering over your shoulder, and you push that energy upwards, and that magic kind of starts to focus into your hand. And as you place your hand on where the damage was, and there's still skin missing, but Vine currently replaces where it would have been hurt. The healing energies start to push into them before you almost feel that energy revolt its way right back into you, as you don't lose any of your healing hands or spell slot, as it doesn't seem to even be able to be received. In fact, you almost feel like you get more of a charge back than you did forwards.
Hey guys, she did not accept my healing. It's never happened, and
Well,
I think
I
I got
guess this is
That's kind of
guess
weird to you.
the vine fixed the damage before you could get to it.
Huh. Well, that's something.
And that,
Damn,
as
I
you're
would
saying,
like to like. Oh, I was gonna say like I was gonna check to see like how it is like the vine like buried into like the stone, like branching. Oh, that's already branching out of her. Is it like buried into the stone, or is it like adhered like normal plants would be?
as you reach around, you look around her back shoulder, slightly pushing it forwards, you can see that there are these thick trunks that are buried into the stone. And then off those trunks, pieces of vine, almost like a mistletoe or a parasitic vine would kind of climb its way up and snake its way around from that one original, like these one large, like thick trunk-like tubes that go into the wall, rooting her there.
Yeah,
And at that point,
after we break that
with the
brace,
sizzling,
I was
you can
talking-
hear Calicath snap the neck thing off.
Yeah, we may have to cut her loose, even after that.
Cut her loose. But she's...
The vine's attached to her, and it's dug itself into the stone.
But how much of
We
her
just-
is the vine?
I don't think that matters. Looks like it's gonna fix whatever damage is done. If we're gonna get her out off of this wall, we're probably gonna have to cut her loose.
Gotcha. Would you like to have the honors, Zatira?
I will pull out that dagger that I spent 400 gold on so long ago, with Dastard's money that I stole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Uh,
he doesn't know that. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
That dagger itself is a
Yes, I
fine
do.
silver dagger with a blue
Yes,
it has a
I
blue
do.
hilt to itself, and there's a flat end at the bottom that is intended to be hit upon a surface to activate the enchantment.
I will do a quick bump of the pommel against the stone,
Mm.
and
And
then
when you
I will see how it cuts. I'll do a slow little nick first to see if I'm even able to actually cut it, but then
Mhm.
also see if I get a reaction from her from cutting it.
Okay. I want you to roll a sleight of hand check as you're being very cautious with this. And as you do so, the vibrations of the blade, it's like holding a weed eater. It's like holding like a leaf blower. It is these aggressive, violent vibrations. You will be at disadvantage with your sleight of hand check.
Okay, well, I rolled a 9 first. Well, the other was a natural 20, so dang, 9.
As you go for a small nick, with the vibrations and whatnot, you do a small-ish strike. I want you to roll the dagger's damage.
Okay. Oops, ignore that. That was a hit. That was not what I wanted. 5 piercing.
Okay, 5. So you sliced a dagger down a few inches, and then like you were trying to go for a few centimeters, and it kind of slips for a second. You go a few inches in, and you reflexively pull that dagger out, and as soon as the dagger's out, you can see this like blue goo begin to fill the space and start to pour out of that vine where it was cut, and it starts to like drip its way down. But before too much even falls, and you get the dagger back in your hand, there's a large, darker blue carapace that begins to grow over that injury, and it fills that area.
So it immediately healed the nick
from the
that I did.
damage.
It did heal. It healed
Okay.
incredibly fast.
And she did not show any reactions of pain, shock from it.
As far she's currently slumped, and at this point unconscious as she's slumped forwards, and like Calicath's just kind of reflexively keeping them from falling too far forwards. As Calicath noticed, without the neck brace and her body leaning forwards, a lot of like blood began to pool and tear at certain parts of the skin between her and the wall. It seemed like the body is able to move, but the vine is not, and lots of blood kind of trickles down from those areas where it's this almost like coming out of a Pringles coming out of a can, and then like all that space in between there is blood gushing down.
And it's
in the
still red
vine-
blood?
That is red blood, a dark, dark, dark red blood, almost bordering on black. As at this point, Astrid has relit his torch.
And the vine itself, when I cut it, no like sap or blood or fluid of any kind came out where I cut.
There was a blue fluid, a light blue fluid, almost bordering on white, that came pouring out, but not too much dribbled out before the darker blue carapace of the vine grew over that injury, that hole, or that slice.
Right, so
Senor,
heal quickly, at least.
Senor
think she-
Astrid, you seem to have seen this before. You don't recall anything about this plant or nothing?
No, I've only tried to walk across it. I've never seen it do this before. It was used as a very poor bridge to get to the other side of a giant crevice, but I've never seen it used in this application before.
Was there any way someone can destroy said bridge, Senor? Do you recall?
No, not that I can remember.
I was just able to slice it.
Could I-
It's just-
Could I history or medicine check
Which one would you
to
like to
see
do?
if I think history would probably be better to
Alright.
see if I can recall anything else about these blue vines.
Yeah.
All right, let me roll that real quick. Oh, a 9. These rolls are garbage tonight.
You remember
Shout out.
that the bridge that you were on was a bit lighter blue than this dark blue, thick blue. It is the same vine, absolutely, but you can recall that the vine you were on was almost as though it had faded. Like if you compared this vine to that color, you're like, that's a faded color. Like that was the bridge, not this one. And then the second thing you remember about that bridge is as you walked upon it, the spindles and it like fell downwards as well. But it was a very torn up bridge by the time you had already made it there. And you also remember as you stepped on it, that same blue goo came squishing out of each step as you walked on it with your weight.
I don't know. It's hard to deduce this. Do we risk it and just cut her out?
I mean,
Take a chance on luck that this silver vine will heal her back?
doesn't
I think
seem
we-
like much of a chance. It seems like it's the only option we have right now.
It seems like we have to cut it all at once, or at least the
It'd be
big
a lot
parts all at
easier
once. So
to-
Okay, Senor.
Cut
Senor,
it and then keep it from the wall.
hear me out. You know how when you have a wound, you cauterize it, right? So,
That's what it's doing to itself.
what if we cut it and cauterize it ourselves? No?
We don't need to do that. It's fixing itself immediately.
I think he means horizontally and not repairing itself to the part that's on the wall, cutting it and then letting the part that's open stop where it is and fuse where it is instead of to the wall, to itself. That's
Cutting off
what you
from
mean,
making
Maria.
it,
Si,
cutting it off
senor.
from growing any further.
Exactly.
Yes. so
Exactly.
I think one cut and then pull her away might be good, or a cut
That was my
and
plan
then
originally.
well, yes. So,
But do it better.
do you think you have what it takes to cut it all? Because
Well,
I pull up
I
my
think-
sword, I might be able to hit it all at once.
I mean, no reason why you can't do the other side and I work one side.
Come on, amigos. Teamwork. Let's work together. Let's do this.
All right.
And as you guys gather on either side, you do see that it's not one big piece of vine or growth, but down starts at almost like the nape of her neck, all the way down to like the bottom of her waist, and it's into the wall. It's about maybe 3.5 feet, 2.5 feet of vine grown into this wall. So in order to cut it all at once, as you were trying, that knife would have a tough time getting the encompass of the entire thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But a sword like
Why not
mine
just-
might.
Might do a
Be
bit
a little
better if you
better.
can get her. It'd be a bit. You're going in between the wall and her. It's going to be. It's going to be a pretty tough thing to do without going just accidentally into that person.
Yes. Well, let's see. I'm feeling a little lucky.
I'm going to give it a shot. I can go cut through this pretty easily with this dagger. It'll be one at a time, but I can do it.
I used to gamble. I'm one for risks. Let's do this.
Yes. I think.
All right, just ones that we cut, just hold them back and
Yes.
prevent them from going back into the wall.
Domino, as soon as we cut one, start moving her head a little bit more forward so it doesn't automatically attach. Eventually, we can get her all the way out. And,
Si, senor.
DM, I'm going to wipe my blade, which I don't think I've said the name of yet,
You've not.
and wipe it with my cape and cause it to glow a little silver and cast a magic weapon on it.
What's the effects of magic weapon?
The weapon becomes more magical. It gets +1. Oh, whoops. I realize there's an issue with that. Never mind. I will instead be doing the exact same thing, but with touching her with my cape and casting Shield of Faith on her, giving her
higher AC,
+2
plus 2 AC. All right.
Yes.
And with that, the energies begin to go into her AC. How is that cast?
It's going to be pretty similar. I'm going to touch her on the shoulder, and the flowers around my little halo around my shoulders start to liven up a bit, and she's surrounded by, I would say plants, but she's already planty, so we'll say silvery, shimmering, kind of force fieldy.
Okay.
Also, I like to, as I'm holding her head, right, I'd like to use my mage armor. Am I allowed to do that?
That's only on yourself, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
don't
never
invest
mind.
yourself. Yeah.
I thought it was like touching a willing creature who isn't wearing armor.
You
are a
could if-
warlock. It
if-
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The warlock
If you want
specifically.
the invocation of it.
Yeah. If it was the
Ah.
normal spell, it'd be different.
Yes.
Okay.
So, her AC begins. So you place your hand on the flowers over your shoulder, glow, and she begins to glow as well, the same color as this silvery pink begins to appear.
Yes. All right.
All right.
Let's get to it.
Without further ado, I'm going to try to just run the gambit, use my big old sword, which isn't really that big. It's more of a rapier-sized thing,
Mm-hmm.
and try to hit all the vines going down at once.
I'll have
Can
you
I make
both.
an attack action for this?
I'll have you both attack at the same time. I'll have you both roll.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
G, let's do this. Yeah,
That is a modified 20.
that is a 27 for me.
All right.
Okay.
Now I need your damage.
And now for the damage. 14 damage.
7.
All right. One moment.
And if it's not enough, I can increase the damage. If I realize that it's not cutting all the way through.
You go raise your hands over your head, sword in hand. Even though it's rapier, you would use it one-handed. This is just going for the full slice. You drop it down, and the tear at the same time is slicing, like trying to slice down into the side of it, kind of like scissoring a little bit as the blade is vibrating in her hands. And you make it about 3/4 the way down, and you can feel in that short moment that the blade is beginning to stop, and you're starting to have to force it, and your sword gets stopped into that area as you make it almost through it. And Zatir, you manage to slice all the way through, but he's going for the full cut, and your blade's about 3/4 the way before it stops,
Ooh.
and the vine's beginning its
I-
way to grow over.
Can I help him? I want to summon. Can I summon my arms and use one of my astral arms to push the blade down the rest of the way?
Absolutely. I want you to roll a athletics check, and you can use your wisdom modifier.
Absolutely.
You got
That's
this.
a 14.
All right. I want you to roll your damage again, Arya. See if we go over it.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah. That's 11 damage.
All right. So as the blade's beginning to stop, there's a moment where it does stop, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And by the time you're saying, "Oh shit," the vines are growing onto the wall before a blue astral arm, seeming coming from nowhere, almost like a force palm, forces its way downward straight onto the blade. The actual hand itself splits over the blade for a second, as almost like a gust of wind separating over the things. There's a whistle that appears as it goes its way through, and you pull, and at that point, her body falls forward. She face plants onto the ground, and she's completely severed from the wall. And that was a really good move. As she separates them, she falls down on the ground, and now you guys are surrounding her. She's unconscious.
All right, let's get her out of this room and go to the other place. Yeah, let's not let her grow back to the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick her up and take her out of the room.
And as you guys are picking her up, this massive amount of blue ichor is falling from out of her back and down her sides and down her shoulders, and she's there unconscious for a bit. And as you guys pick her up and you're starting to walk her way out, I want you to make a just flat intelligence check, Arya. You're the one carrying from the back, right?
Yes, I am carrying.
Flat intelligence check.
Also, I want to grab some of Kalakath's endless bandages.
Excuse me?
And
I don't
start
think you'll
wrapping
need
it
to
around
Ask for
her.
permission?
Oh, hey.
I don't think you'll need
Well,
to. I
if
think
he
it's
was-
gonna heal itself.
I
It's
rolled a
like-
3. I
Three.
rolled a 3.
Zatira, you're also following, and Domino, you guys can roll intelligence checks either. You're focused on carrying her at the moment, Arya.
Yes.
Okay.
So, do I
I'll
roll
go ahead
one
and
too?
roll.
You're like
Intelligence
carrying her
check
from
itself?
behind. You're not exactly looking. You're looking at where you're going.
Yeah. No, that
I
makes
rolled
sense.
a 9
A 9.
intelligence check.
All right, Domino, you got this.
15?
Domino.
I rolled a
15.
15.
Yeah.
Zatira, you're just distracted at the moment, and Zatira, you're seeing Pearl, who's still grabbing at his head, and Naomi's kind of like bandaging up his eyebrow. Domino, as you're walking, you see this ichor just falling and falling and falling, and you kind of you notice that it's not stopping, nor is she moving, nor is the vine growing back over.
Oh, senores, the vine. It's not catalyzing. We have fire. Some fire.
I'll, hearing that, I'll lay on hands again and push 10 HP into the woman that I'm carrying.
And as you do so, you quickly turn to lay on hands, and you do that. And let me double check something. Yeah. So with that, her skin tries to grow, and you actually see instead of the vine growing, her skin begins to grow upwards over the pieces of trunk in the vine, almost trying to grow its way over the now these big holes and tubes in her back. It's a quite nasty thing as it begins to reach its way over, and they're not even able to fully encapsulate each of the holes in her back as the blue goo kind of pours its way out. It's a nasty scene, and you dump that 10 HP into her, and yeah.
All right, I'm gonna lay her down. We're right next to some tables, right? We saw some tables. I'll lay her down. We'll, I guess, on her
I'll help
stomach,
him.
so we can look at her back. And
As you lay her
I'd
down,
like to.
and you flip her, try to flip her over on the stomach, all that goo blueness that was in there pours out the back, just like empty bowls kind of onto the floor, and then not too long after, the red ichor itself follows, even darker than before. And as you flip her, her eyes lie open and her head lies backwards.
Ugh. Oh.
All right, I'm gonna do a medicine check, even though I'm not good at it, but it needs
May
to be
I
done.
assist?
You guys
Can
both
I
can
help
do
you?
individual ones if you want to.
Provide. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Also do a medicine check?
Medicine check,
Everybody's
medicine
rushing
check,
to investigate her. What are you guys medicine checking for?
Can I use the help
bandage the-
action?
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
like
to
to.
bandage the bleeding vines.
Yeah, that's what Zatira's doing. I want to just get a sense for what's going on here. What can we do to stop this? Is she going to be okay? Is she
Okay.
breathing right now?
Arya,
Like,
you're first.
just general
Mine would be to help her stay conscious.
8 is
8.
what I did.
I got a 6.
6.
We're really bad at this.
Yeah, I mean, we're just.
Oh
Could
gonna
I get
roll
my
right
torch
now.
and like?
I got a 15.
Could I get my torch and run it over her back?
Kind of like categorizing.
As you do that,
Maybe.
Here, that'd be
okay,
doing more
lots of
damage.
stuff is happening. Arya, even with a 9, you made 9, yeah?
8.
8, even with an 8. It does not take much for you to recognize a dead body when you see one. And you get the inclination that the death happened at the moment the wall was disconnected. But Astrid, as you bring your torch, she's on her like side now because one's working on the front. Zatira, you're trying to bandage the back. As you bring the torch close to her back, the vines in her back wriggle and writhe and almost try to dig their way into the corpse deeper.
Guys, she's not with us anymore.
But senor, the vines are living.
Yes, but it appears as though the vines are not her. The vines were keeping her alive, or some state of alive. This is no way
Maybe
to
it was
live, though.
feeding off her.
Maybe. There's a lot of questions, but actually, Arya's gonna go back to the wall where she was at,
Mhm.
and try to hit the wall. Try and break the wall. See if I can see anything behind it. Like,
I'd
roll a
love to try to help them.
strength. Just roll your damage for your unarmed attack.
can I make it athletics?
No, just the damage. You're going to hit the wall.
Okay.
Oh snap! I'll hit a
Right.
wall.
My unarmored damage is 5.
5. Okay, with that, your fist meets the wall, and there's a bam, and some of the stonework cracks and crackles. But it's going to take a lot to get through a stone wall that doesn't have any. Well, yeah.
Guys, I think maybe something is behind this wall. That
DM, how strong is Mage Hand?
Not very strong.
It's not very strong.
it's not very
It's-
strong.
it's not
It
very
can
strong
only
at all.
carry like 20 pounds.
It struggles to like do
Or,
things like turn off lanterns, but it's good
Yeah,
for
you're
that. But that's like it's
Punch
max.
a wall. If you're looking for a
Yeah.
man that can punch a wall, we've got a big
Oh, yeah.
Goliath right here.
This man has a
It's
history
made
of
for
punching
punching.
walls.
You,
Has some
Astrid,
history doing things.
Who
Can I
has a name?
cast Lightning Lore on a wall?
Astrid, you helped me with the sword. Can you help me with this wall,
I'll find out for you.
Maria?
Yeah.
And Astrid, you're talking the wall.
Let's go. Let's go punch a wall.
All right, strike that
Yeah.
wall. Give me your damage.
What?
I rolled
Well-
another 5.
Ball
5,
strike. I also rolled a 5
5. You guys are
I rolled another 5.
with force damage.
bam, bam, and just also Astrid, bam, 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 much louder and more reverberating hits. Bam, bam, bam. The wall's like crackling. There's this big, like I'd say, what would be like the area where a tree would grow, where that was connecting to her. You guys are assuming not hitting that spot. You're hitting like the stonework, yeah.
Yeah.
And just. Bam, bam,
I am keeping my eye on that
bam,
vine,
fist
though.
after fist. This might take a while, but you guys are consistently hitting the walls. There's just the echoing, the reverberations as you do so. You cannot lightning lure, as lightning lure strikes. It chooses a creature of your choice, unless you try to. Perhaps you could attempt to lightning lure the vine if you think that's a creature, but you can't. If you strike it at the wall, it won't do anything because you know that it's a creature.
Nah, I don't want to destroy anything. Okay.
And Kalikath, you were doing something?
No.
And with that-
Watching in
Oh, sorry.
stunned silence as a Goliath and a clown swing repeatedly at a wall.
Bam! Bam! Bam!
Gotta do what
At
you
one
gotta
point,
do.
Astrid's fist meets the wall, and his hand reels backwards, and there's blood at this point as you're just smashing this wall, and a good 3 or 4 bricks
Nah,
kind
homie,
of
no,
fall
it ain't.
downwards.
No, there ain't. No, there isn't. I'm using my astral arms. No, there ain't. Haha.
Okay, your astral
Okay.
arms are
Punch.
punching and breaking
Got 'em.
through. And Aria, you have bloodied fists, but you continue to break through. You guys hit together, and several bricks kind of turn to basically rubble, start to fall its way out, and eventually at one point, both of you guys, you're now punching through this dirt and this mud, not really getting much wall.
And the
What
vine
exactly are
keeps
we
going?
expecting?
Well,
The vine, you
Define
guys are not
that.
striking. You're striking to the left or right of the vine. The vine is like a tree trunk now. Like it looks like a tree trunk now currently, and there's just ooze coming out of this large tree trunk of sorts. You guys can strike
Yeah,
the vine if you want to, but it's different than the wall.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing
yeah,
it
I'll put,
where she was, like
Okay.
where it
Yeah.
connects
I'll
the
put my
vine.
torch on the vine.
That was what I was thinking originally. I might not have.
I thought you were trying to get through the wall, so therefore I was hit the wall next to the
No,
vine.
No, I was saying like I want to see if like the vines had like combined to make something behind her.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would have hit like around the vines.
You were hitting around the vines, like you were hitting close. You didn't like walk. You didn't walk 3 feet away. You just weren't hitting directly on the vine. But you were, but
Yeah.
as far as beyond the area where the vine's not grown, as the bricks are turned to rubble, there's dirt behind that. And you, Astrid, you said you did what?
Yeah, I want to hold my torch to the vines where the woman was at.
As you hold
Just
the
to see
torch
what
towards the
happens a little bit.
vines,
With caution.
weakly, but presently, but weakly try to pull them their way away from there. But you see that there's a very large lax in like energy of it as it tries to pull away from the fire, and there's just this large amount of goo rolling out of the several pieces of trunk. But the ones that you do reach it to, they're trying to repel and they're not succeeding.
So they're moving slower, and do they look more limp than usual after
Very.
we've removed the lady?
Yeah, very.
Okay.
They're dying now.
Aria. The
Yeah,
fertilizer's gone. They're done. The vines are dying. Their food source keeping them sustained has been removed. Just as she's dead, the vines are now dying. At least as far as I can tell. Now,
So like
let's go get some answers.
a parasite, the vine was feeding off the woman. Crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's my working theory.
Let's go get some answers.
I know we know where they are.
He said near the bugbears. I'm not sure I know where that is.
Astrid, Calicath, and I know exactly where that is. Follow us.
All too
Si,
well.
senor. Lead the way.
Yes.
Pearl, Naomi, same motions as usual, but try and be a bit more subtle. We're going to the Enclave.
Pearl himself is starting to regain his composure, and like he's put by this point has dropped the bag and stepped away from it. And as you address Pearl, he slightly aware of what's been going on, but kind of more focused on himself. Okay, to the bugbears, but someone else is carrying that, and he takes a few steps away from the bag that has the mask in it.
I'll carry it. Aria doesn't know what's in it, so.
Be very careful with that thing, Arya. It's very dangerous.
Is it worse than the
Hey,
parasite vines, or?
hey,
Potentially. No clue,
Oh.
and that's the scary part.
Hey,
That's
DM,
okay.
can we take our break? Because I have to go pick up my sister.
Ooh, okay.
Can we do that now, or
As you guys
sorry,
are
I'm just
grabbing
leaving
your
abruptly.
things, yeah, you head off now. We'll take a break, and we'll close into a
Word.
spot, and then yeah, you go.
appreciate it?
No problem.
Okay.
Cal Aria, you reach into the bag and you pull out this mask. This wrapped up object.
Try not to touch the thing with your bare hands, or look at it too deeply. Definitely don't put that thing on.
I mean, no. What? While we're walking, I'm assuming we're walking.
But
What is this thing?
before we head off, if you don't mind, as everyone leaves the room, DM, is it possible for me to obtain a piece of that vine? Or what's
Absolutely.
left of it from the
It's not too hard to carve out out of her or out of the wall. You do gather a sample of that vine. How much are you trying to get?
Just a small bundle's worth, like a handful,
Yeah.
essentially, and I want to wrap it up in bandages
Yeah,
before placing
Styria
it
was
in my
thinking of
bag.
doing that too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you guys get each other. You guys together get two different handfuls. We'll say like one one handful of this vine, and each one is like there's like the blue goop on there as well as you have like the thickness and some of the blue goop, but the blue goop you can see is already drying in places.
You can have it like wrapped up like in the bandage and then stuffed like in between like the gap in her bedroll and then stuffed at the bottom of her bag. Like just to make sure it doesn't like do anything weird or reach anybody.
Pearl grabs his bag without the mask now, and kind of looks out to you guys for what's up next. You guys begin on your way.
Dude, you,
Go
I
ahead
look at
and-
Pearl, and I look at Pearl and say, do you wanna have people see her report this or something?
He looks down at her and he goes, that does need to be done. But I think
I'm worried about
what
them
will really
seeing
help
the vine.
people is getting rid of the source. I'll send someone here after we've handled them. If we have a,
Alright.
and he's just stuttering.
Get your breath. Then we're heading out. Then we gotta move post haste. Don't know how much time left before they make their next move.
Aye. Then we do that. And with that, you guys gather on your ways. You begin to go back out into the still fresh night. Half moon sitting high in the air, illuminating the streets as you begin to press your way towards the Felfang Enclave. It will take our break. Oh, have an audio error? No, there we are.
Oh, reception issue.
Hello, we had a reception issue. Whoa,
Oh.
that's crazy.
Oh,
All right, we are back.
bruh.
And
We're so back.
you guys are traversing your way towards the Felfang Enclave, I take it, yeah? Any pit stops?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
A pit stop at your barber's.
Wow, got him.
As you guys are progressing,
Anyways,
it's a few hours as you guys go along through the night, and you guys start to go through the dilapidated buildings, and you pass through the threshold where the city starts becoming more nature than it is city. And you notice, firstly, Cameron or Vincent, or everyone, because everyone that's been here before, there's a significant lack in goblins. No one interrupts your path, and you progress your way through the night.
don't like that.
I wonder if I can get my silver dagger back. That I was never paid for.
What do you-
Tira.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
What's the history behind that?
Please,
Just
Senor,
feel
I
charitable
want to know
about
more
it.
about this dagger.
It's not interesting. It was a dagger.
Yet he's
Oh,
still
it-
complaining about it.
You did bring
Because
up.
it was mine.
Did it have a name?
Yeah. Silver dagger.
Oh,
And as you guys
I
progress,
think-
But, Senor Aria, do all things in your world have names, like weapons?
Oh yeah, of course. If something is going to protect you, it has to have a name. This right here, and I pull out a wavy rapier-like longsword with 7 holes in it that makes whistling noises when I move it around. This is called Monologue. And I love
Senor,
that.
You're gonna
Why
have
would you
to
ask
repeat
him that question, Domino?
Oh.
He kind of cut off. Is he
Yeah,
okay?
Wait, did I cut off?
Oh,
Yeah, you cut out for a sec. For me.
Weird. I'll say it again. I pull out my little wavy rapier.
No, you don't have to do the whole thing.
This is called monologue. And I wave it
Monologue?
around and make it whistle. Like 1, 2, 3, monologue.
Oh,
I like it. Anything that protects you needs a name. And then I put it back in my hilt. Does anyone else have a name for their weapon?
It's a bit noisy for my liking.
no.
Well, it's perfect
I'm
for me.
sorry, senor. But no.
We'll have to workshop it. You'll have cool
I have a name
weapons.
for something else, though.
Oh, yeah?
And I pull out my blank green domino. I call this Bruja. After the Bruja that cursed me.
Baruha.
Si, senor. Bruja. And I put it right back in my pocket.
What does that mean?
There's something wrong with a lot of you.
Wait, you don't name things, Calicath?
Pull out my longsword from my back, still stained red from the mansion getaway, and I say, yes, this is my longsword, lovingly named Longsword. I put it away and I pull out a small golden coin with sigils on it and I say, and this is my golden coin. I call it a golden coin.
You know, there's something very unique about taking the straight approach where I'm from. I pull out my little journal and start writing down the basic names for things in an attempt to make an even funnier name for something. Like the sky.
It's been a mistake.
Well, while we're all monologuing and having a dialogue, I guess. Pentalogue? I don't get it.
Can we go?
Yeah.
We are going. We're walking. I've been
Let's
walking.
go faster.
I don't like how. I'm normally used to the quiet, but I do not like how quiet it is right now.
And as you say that, there's nothing but the slight howling of the wind in the night. And at this point, you guys are now out of city-based anything, and you're walking through these dark woods on a path of just not any kind of paved path or any stone, just the brushel that's been trampled over lots of use by the goblins. And as you go, Calic, what's the marching order? Who's in the front? Just the front. Probably
think I would
Astrid
be-
or.
Astrid probably would be close to front. I would like to be in the front to like peer ahead, but
Yeah.
like be a bit cautious.
Zatira.
Cautious lead.
I think the OG3 are in the front, the people who explored this area before.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Zatira and Calicath, I want you both to roll perception checks.
Okay. I have a good history of rolling those. Oh hey, I actually got a 21.
Nice, I got a 14.
14. As you were progressing, Zatira, your mind, you guys are walking along, and for a second you see the slight reflection of some light in the wooded, like to the right of the path. You see it for just a moment, and you stop, and you take a few steps back, like the sound of like the brush rolls moving as your feet steps over it. And when you make stand in a certain spot, you can see just through the tree line, through some brushes and some leaves, there's something very, very, very lightly glinting the moonlight. Just the smallest bit. You can't quite make out much more as you peer into it.
Old.
What you looking at over there, old girl?
I see something glinting in the distance. Can't quite tell what it is. Is this is the location where it's at, like the same church?
No, you guys haven't quite made it to the church yet. You're on your way, and it's actually just a few feet past the path, like at least from what you can tell. And and as you peer in a little bit, make another perception check as you're peering closer into it.
Okay. perception again. That is, another 21.
You can see almost the shimmer and shape of metal glinting its way, and it's just a little bit as like the moonlight's hitting it. Very, very light, but the moon here is just a very bright presence. So it's like some metal reflecting, and that you could just see it.
Can I tell like the type of metal?
It is just the smallest triangle of light that no one else can properly see without, like, as they're not lining up exactly in your spot.
A bit curious. Naomi Pearl, you stay right here. To keep watch. The rest of us, let's try and investigate that. I would like to approach that area stealthily.
All right, roll stealth check.
Stealth check. That is, oh great, natural 1.
Woo!
Total of 7.
You're
Total 7.
Clip, clomp, clip, clomp.
Oh, you are pushing through the brushes, and as you push one of the trees upwards, you were just hoping to lift up the tree and go underneath it, but it was a dead like vine that you weren't aware of. Sorry, a dead branch. And as you lift it, it like cracks at the base, and the bottom of it swings over as you kind of hold on to now this shrub in your hands, and you're like, ah, shit. And once you move that, you can now see you're much closer to this thing, and you can see now that there is, almost stapled to a tree, a goblin with a spear ran through his body, and you can see the out the back wound pierced onto a tree, the glinting metal of a javelin head, as its body sits there, dead for not sure how long, and it looks like it got blasted from the path through the brushes into this tree as it lay there.
Can I see the path where the javelin was thrown from?
Following where the javelin would have came from, about 4 or 5 feet farther down than where you guys were already walking. More like 7 or 8 feet. So it may have been a horizontal blow.
I will go back to the rest of the group and inform them of this. And I think I found a path where some action happened. There was a goblin that was pinned to a bloody tree with a javelin.
He was pinned to the tree, and that's impressive.
Could you tell how old it was?
No, I hadn't bothered to look into that yet, but I think we just have a path, right now.
That's a terrifying thought if whatever killed it might still be around.
Oh, I don't doubt that they're just moving on ahead.
Do you think it's...
Not a second thought.
Do you think it's those 3 that we've been looking for?
I have 0 doubts.
Well, that's good to know. One should always be confident in themselves.
Knowing this information, can I take a quick perception check around our current area for things other than the impaled goblin?
Go for
Other signs of carnage, perhaps?
Shout out impaled goblin.
11.
11. Where you guys are right now, there's not much of to find, but as Satira regales you where it is, the direction the spear came from, or javelin came from, you've not made to just yet. Presumably it was a little bit up the road, and it was a sideways shot.
You know, there's a chance we don't have to fight them.
Zatira looks at the pinned goblin, and then back to him. I don't think they're in a diplomatic mood.
Oh.
Right. Try and pick up the pace, knowing that there's less obstacles in front of us now.
Yeah. Continue on our way, I suppose.
Keep on the path back to where it begins again. And you travel for some ways. And after about 30 minutes or so, you're now getting to where the goblin camp stood. And you're seeing there are plenty of structures still standing, but a few of them have obvious scarring on them. And you can see now up ahead there is several buildings that are burning. Tents, excuse me. And as far as the goblins in this area, you do walk over a few past goblins and bugbears. But no one alive, is currently in this area as you there's scattered corpses.
I wonder why they would do this if they were already in the area before. It's clear they passed by them the last time we were here, because they made it all the way to the spire.
Pearl's head
second time we hear of
snaps.
them coming this way.
Pearl's head snaps to you, and with a little bit of aggression, they needed to be stopped.
The goblins?
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Whoa, I didn't know you were like that.
What? No, they
Pearl,
might have been stopped.
Friend of mine.
Satura would like to insight check that snap to see if that was entirely him, or if he unintentionally let that slip himself.
Roll. Go ahead.
Insight check, please. That's a total of 10.
It was a little bit too fast for you to gather. You weren't looking at him there's a lot to be perceived here, and you were not capturing that at that moment. It basically, you turned around to hear it, and by the time he had caught himself, he just looked surprised.
Pearl, friend of mine.
Yeah.
Is there something you'd like to talk about?
I don't know what you mean.
Come on. We're friends. We already discussed this.
Right.
It'd be better to let whatever it is out now.
Yeah.
If you don't like goblins, you can just say so. You're not alone in that in this town.
And he thinks for a moment, and you can see that he's just kind of scratching at his head a lot, and feeling that wound on his eye. I don't think there's much to say, is there? We need to keep going. And he starts to do a slow walk forwards.
Satira's gonna look and glance at the mask that Arya is now holding, and turn back and then go back to walking.
Hey, DM.
Mm-hmm.
After that weird thing, Arya would like to do a little divine sense.
Okay. Okay.
And as an action, I cast Detect Good and Evil, and I know if anything's under the Hollow spell or if there's any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet. Just trying to catch a vibe off of what he just saw from our good friend Pearl.
As everyone's traveling forwards and you stand back, you kind of hold at your clavicle and focus in for a second. The petals and roses and flowers over your shoulders shift into this dark black color, and then you feel firstly a ping of celestial, and they flip to a white color before fading back to black, like a whoosh, and you capture its direction and essence and deduce that it is the party member covered in bandages. And when you focus deeper for that good and evil, you find several features, and you capture a conflicted read on one. And that is the seeming nobleman who's been traveled with you. There's something fighting forces happening. And as far as good and evil in this world, we're going to say, an evil human wouldn't register proper, because evil and good is really relative. But you do find someone very conflicted, as though either in an argument with themselves or almost having some kind of tension.
Yeah, maybe there's a sense that something's not right. Maybe there's a sense that something else is there.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to. Hey, Calicath. Do you mind
Hmm?
moving a little bit over here? I need to tell you something away from the prying eyes.
And they're all traveling forwards as you catch Cal, and then everyone continues their way through the ruins.
Sure. What you got on your mind?
Hey, I sense something conflicting within our Pearl friend. Something. I caught a really nasty vibe from him. Not just the being against the goblins, but something is still inside of him. Do you understand?
Arya, you're not prying into our friends' lives, are you?
Well, I think. Well, yes. But also, I think it's a situation where whatever was possessing him before might still be there. I just wanted to let someone know.
Well, I appreciate it, but sometimes these things are best left secret.
Okay.
Has anyone caught you up on what's been going on around here lately?
You know, not really. I'd love to know more.
Good. Maybe I'll tell you sometime. Come on.
And we catch up with the others.
All right. And with that, you guys start to catch up. Domino, I want you to roll a flat charisma check.
All right, here we go. Dirty 20.
Cool. As you guys are traversing through these encampments, and there's a few buildings now they're not full flames, they've become cindered and things. You hear in like the far distance near your right side a small laugh, young woman's laugh, and you turn your head to the right and you don't see anything, and it sounded familiar. And as you turn back to your party, no one else's head has seemed to have turned or heard anything, but it was very present, very there, just off to the right, just a bit.
Do I recall if this sounded like Satira?
It didn't sound like Zatira, rather, roll, actually, I wouldn't even say a history check. It sounded like somebody more important to you.
More important, oh. Alright.
Sure is not important to him.
More.
Wow, first Pearl, now Domino. Jeez.
Damn. Alright. Senores, did you guys hear that? Or was it just me?
Heard what?
I heard a laughter out in the distance. Do I recall what distance? Like what? Like
It was
north?
It was it was to your right, and it was.
About 47
It's
feet or
hard
so.
to tell. It was pretty far, but not like we're not talking like several blocks, which there's not even blocks here.
Alright, so I point in a direction that I heard it. I'm like, I heard a laughter from over there.
Laughter?
Si, senor. It was a woman's voice. I recall, but I don't quite remember the name. But I know I've heard this voice before.
So now I'm conflicted on whether or not to.
Wait. DM.
Mhm.
Do I know if it's the Fae?
You
The
don't know.
What? Huh?
You have no clue.
Okay.
It was just as far as you can gather, it was a laughter, and a very familiar laughter like that of someone you knew.
Oh no. Yikes. Okay.
Domino, are you okay?
conflicted on that because
Okay.
a trap, for sure. But then
Senor,
there's a trap.
I think it was Maria.
Aren't you
Maria?
supposed to be Maria?
Yes, you are
am
still
dead.
disguised as Maria.
That's funny. Oh.
What the fuck are you on about?
It can't be possible, but I know it's true. It's what I heard.
If it
I'd like to go
Going
and
bloody crazy.
I'd like to go and investigate this. And if you don't come with me, I might go on my own.
Don't
Oh.
do that. That's stupid.
And he's
You
already
go on
starting to
your
walk.
own when there's
I'll-
people out here throwing spears at goblins that can put holes in trees.
Wow, what's the worst that can happen? I get attacked. Crazy.
Can I get...
Death. Domino.
I'm going with
Maria.
Domino. Or Maria.
Maria gives a
Finally.
shrug, and like, what's the worst that could happen? And starts walking away, and Arya's following along. Domino, as
You know what? If he dies, it's actually a win-win for me.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stay over here and I'm gonna watch and see what happens.
Domino, I want you to roll an investigation check or a perception check as you travel, taking a few
alright,
turns
let's
following
see.
the sound.
Best.
Sorry, yeah,
you
go ahead.
said- or perception.
Arya's following.
Oh, yeah.
Either
Yeah.
or, I guess.
Aria's here.
I rolled a 19 for investigation.
As you're like looking around, you walk around one of the cindered. It was like a small hut of sorts, and you hear farther and to the left, traveling as it kind of echoes outwards.
All right. Can I do a perception check to see if like this is a trap of sorts?
Sure.
All right, 19.
19?
You see
Legally,
no
he's
punch.
got to tell you.
You see no punji sticks. You see no ballistae that could be fired. You see no pressure plates, and you see no anything of that sort.
I'd like to follow, but like, I kind of signaled for Arya to get down, so like we're sneaking.
I don't know.
Si, senor.
You're hearing a girl who's Maria, right?
Si.
And is it possible that she's here? Is there any way of that? Do you know if she's in town?
No, senor. While ago, I was with my family. I made a deal that I shouldn't have. And remember, Bruja, the gem I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
There was this creature, I don't know, it was a witch, a bruja, as we call it in my family. And she turned them into this artifact, this menace, this curse.
This
And ever since, I've been hearing things. But this is different. This seems real, more real.
this Ruha turned your family into an artifact?
Into this domino. I pull it out. I show him.
And as you pull it out, Domino, you hear what sounds like that of construction work, almost like dum 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 dum, like a hammer on nail. Just
hear that,
forwards
Arya?
and to the left.
Do you hear that, Arya?
Nothing.
Do I hear it, DM?
You hear
Huh?
nothing but the small crackling of fire. Embers.
Okay.
No,
I
I'm gonna be
pursue
honest.
this noise.
And,
Domino, pause, Domino. I'm gonna be honest with you. You said this one sounds more real to you, but none of us can hear it. And you said that you've been hearing things, but we haven't heard these things. But you think they're real. Isn't that a little?
I like to
suspicious?
medicine check myself.
roll medicine check.
Alright, I got a 3.
You haven't been stabbed with any syringes with crazy juice lately?
No, senor, I'm fine. You see? I wave my hands back and forth. Like
Well.
I show him my palms and
And then almost
In the
again, but a little bit more pressing, just around the corner, just over this small little ways. Thump, 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 thump. Thump, thump, thump. Like a nail.
all right.
And
I dart and I
yeah. And as you quickly turn the corner and you kind of come around the edge, there's a wooden crate. And nailed to it, a cloth. White
all
linen.
right. I grab the cloth. I read it.
You grab the cloth.
I
And you
investigate.
you investigate. You quickly run your hands to the same place as that other cloth, and you see embroidered onto it the letter M and then a V.
MV.
Did we see him dart
Mm.
and like
He's
go around
gone
a
all
corner
the way.
from where we
He's
were standing?
He's kind of gone off a little bit of ways. You guys are now standing, and it's gotten quiet, and it's been about 4 minutes of them basically being gone, just quiet.
All right. I pull out the other cloths and I kind of arrange them together. See if I can
Sales.
make anything.
I also start walking that way.
Mm-hmm. You see Domino now holding his hands up to a box, looking at the box in a weird way. One hand's kind of like pressed, grabbing the thin air, and the other one he reaches out of his pocket and is miming this look as he pulls it across. And then as you sit as you kind of pull closer next to him, there's nothing in his hands at the moment.
Oh.
You know, Domino,
I pull the cloth. I take it with me.
You pull
And
the
I also
cloth down.
investigate around. See if
And he
there's
starts
anything
walking
else.
around. You're like walking around this like they're crates. You're walking around this one box. You still have the cloths in your hand, and Maria. Sorry, not Maria. You
Arya.
You see him like currently holding in either hand just nothing, but he's keeping them and like occasionally looking at them and looking back.
All right.
You know, Domino, you're the strongest fighter in this group. And your weird magic, I don't understand magic. Just gonna let it go. I think every person needs a hobby, so
Oh,
this is
my
yours, I'll
apologies,
support you.
senor.
wholeheartedly.
I apologize, senor. I must. I don't know. I must be exhausted. Let's move back with the group now. I think they've had enough of my antics.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's go. I don't know where they'd be without us.
Si, senor, because I am very important.
We're already gone. We're 60 feet ahead of you. We're already left.
We walk fast or like jog up.
Yeah.
You quickly pocket those two cloths, and
I
you
like to
do
look back.
recall you do recall that you did show these cloths to Pearl, but as you start to walk forwards, you look back. What are you looking for? There just lies the box and a few crates near it.
I just look back and I continue on.
And you turn your head forwards, and you begin to travel back to the group.
What
Arya,
were you
roll a
saying? You
perception
never
check.
called?
A perception check.
As you're trailing behind Domino.
Okay, that's a 18.
As you guys travel forwards, you can hear what sounds like wood pop up for just a second as you turn around.
You said wood popping
Sounds
up?
it sounds like wood rubbed against wood really fast, like maybe a board fell over or something, but you don't immediately see any board. It sounded like just a wooden plank or something falling, or maybe
You know, during that, Arya thinks back to the crocodile fight and how it was me and Domino facing the crocodile head on, and Domino was able to use some weird magic, and Arya's not especially knowledgeable about that stuff, so just gonna wave it off as some weird magic. Surely this will not affect him in any way, shape, or form.
Surely.
Yeah.
And you guys begin to head back to the party. reaching them after and
said it
they've
was-
been gone for about. Oh, sorry.
You said that I recalled something about showing Pearl my
You-
LV.
In terms of well, I realized you didn't. Yeah. You just remember that Pearl didn't know anything about it, but I realize now you didn't really incite anything, so I really should have not brought that up. But you have shown Pearl that cloth before, and he looked at it.
Can I do a history check just to kind of see if I remember him looking confused to what I was showing him?
Arya? Yes, you can do that. Well, actually, yes,
no,
you
not Arya.
No,
Pearl.
no, Pearl.
Pearl. Yeah, go ahead.
Was Pearl
Alright.
confused?
Please be good. No, I got a 6.
We're
I mean,
all stupid.
He. He grabbed it from you, but he did look confused. He didn't know what it was, but he picked it up.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay.
And you guys regroup with the party. You guys who were waiting, it had been a solid 7 minutes of just standing there in the, like, you just occasionally hear some rubble, like some stuff kind of fall, just waiting. They're about to show up.
Honestly,
By the God,
They go-
what
they
are they
both
doing
go.
out there?
seriously, they both go to a source where only one of us heard a bloody sound. And after we know that there's a powerful wizard out here that can scorch a group with a thought, they just go by themselves.
You know, I can guarantee you that Domino is going to come back from this just fine. I wanted one thing today, and I'm not going to get it.
And as that happens, Domino and Arya appear.
Oh,
There it is.
there
Hey,
you
guys.
are.
Hola, what's up?
Hello?
Did you
I'm
find
so glad to
anything?
see you. I'm glad you made it back safe.
I found some
find-
things,
Oh,
but
did
it's
you?
okay. It was nothing important.
Great.
I think-
Glad to
I
know that
think-
you wasted our time. Now let's
I
get
think-
moving.
I wasted
I
your
think
time,
we-
but my time was well spent.
I think we grew as people from that.
See, senor, me and Arya, best pals. I can tell already.
I sure hope so.
In 7 minutes?
N-
That's about how long it took for you two to become best pals, Astrid.
7 minutes.
See, senor, my best friend, Astrid.
Of us.
And Naomi's kind of starts
Yeah.
walking, and he's like, "Yeah, Knight's not getting any younger." Starts heading his way forwards.
Harmony, we're already
follow
behind.
along.
We can't fall any more behind.
And you guys all fall in step, heading your way over. After not too long of walking through this encampment, as it's not the largest one, you guys go about 10, 11 more minutes, and you start to head down. The trees begin to get thicker again, and you go down the path that is now leading to the large chapel that's in the wooded area where the bugbear was. The bugbear cleric was last seen.
Should be here, at least from what wise lead.
We were-
Zetira's like cringing a little bit from saying that, and then thinking like, yeah, we're kind of here for him. Here's for wise lead. Hopefully, we still find something of use here. Hopefully, it wasn't a wasted time.
And as you guys traverse about 5 minutes of walking, you guys then see the opening in the clearing that leads to the chapel. And as you look to the right, the chapel's there, and it's collapsed in. The already almost rubble chapel now truly rubble, just fully onto itself.
Was this the same chapel that the giant bugbear was in?
That's correct.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Mhm.
Well,
Harmony.
I wonder how long it took him to do this.
Probably not too long, honestly.
That must have taken something out of them.
The
No,
fight
you should have seen
beforehand
this
would
place
have taken
before. It was
something
already a dump.
Word.
There was like a
God.
path down deeper into it, right? When we entered the chapel the first time.
Not
There's-
nothing besides possibly that chute.
It was the chute
Okay.
where they threw the
Yeah, I
corpse,
thought we
or the
traveled a
head
bit.
of the bugbear into.
Yeah, I thought
Shout
we
out.
traveled like a bit deeper down, going into the bugbear, that bugbear's room.
Shout out
Mhm.
indeed, Arya.
And
Well,
do you guys progress forwards or like down the path?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to do so stealthily, as well as like trying to keep an eye out for like any other traces of them, like indicating direction that they headed after doing this.
So you're investigating if they went a different direction.
I'm investigating if they went somewhere else after coming here. If there's any tracks, like footprints in the ash or
Roll a
something.
survival check in terms of tracking and footprints and things along those lines.
Survival.
Because we're out in the wilderness, we're looking through the dirt, that kind of thing.
That's
We're
a
making out-
14.
14. As you progress in terms of tracks, there's not much to be found as if they were through here. Judging by the building, this could have happened a few hours ago. But as you're looking around, the paths that are taken are traversed very commonly, very often. And it's just kind of these divots now at this point. It's hard to determine any kind of irregularities compared to what's normally on there. But you can deduce that there's not much of other place to go than continue heading south if they didn't finish their task here.
It looks like they did finish their task here from what I'm seeing. Leveling the whole place.
Well,
So-
let's continue. No
Where?
reason to be wasting time.
Where? That's the question, though.
Well, we won't find out outside. Now will we?
No,
There's no
senor.
inside left.
Is there... Damn, is there no inside left?
You guys walk up to the chapel and it is rubbled. Like there is no inside left. The roof is collapsed. The walls are collapsed. The roof is all collapsed inwards. The entire building itself caved in. You can try to dig through that, and there's a pool of like what was water. Like you can mostly the most you can see is in the center area where some of the rubble rolled away. There's a destroyed like pool of murky water.
There's no inside left.
I see. Yes. I was looking at this thing I have in my hands. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. No, that's crazy. It's all rubble. Did we need anything in there?
Well, our primary lead is likely buried underneath it in a smoking crisp.
Well, I could clear a bit of a path.
That would be a bit difficult.
Well, not very difficult.
I don't know, senor, seeing that, he kind of hurt Astrid, my best friend, Big Astrid, very bad a while ago. I think he can do many things.
Oh, I actually haven't seen you fight, Calikath. I'd love to see what you could do. If you think it's a good idea, let's do it.
I could
No,
certainly
you
give it a
don't.
shot.
Not even a little bit
I can't
area.
guarantee that it'll. I can't guarantee that it'll be the same as earlier, but I can try.
Okay.
Calikath walks up towards the rubble. Is it possible to walk on top of it, or is it just a
Yeah.
mountain of rubble?
No, it's caved in. There's places to walk up and down. It's several pieces of large chunk of roof and things. You can't. Yeah, you could investigate this to look around further if you wanted to. Yeah.
Before I make a move, I would like to investigate the area to see if maybe I can find the best place to try and clear out some rubble.
Sure. You yeah. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
An 18.
18. So depending on what you're trying to do, there's a couple places you could do. Depending on what your move is, you could you have a. I would say whatever you choose to do, you've probably found a good spot to do it if it will work. As the DM, I don't know what you're planning on doing, so I would say that you've got yourself prepped for the best situation for whatever you were about to tell me you're about to do.
Okay. Let's see. All right. Kalakath moves over to the designated spot and he shakes off his hands for a moment. And as he...
You're about to blow this rubble away again, aren't you?
Is everyone a reasonable distance away from...
Everyone back up. Everyone back up. Watch your
I
back.
immediately stand behind Astrid.
Literally.
Lots of
Tyr
people
will stand
start
behind Domino,
clearing.
standing behind that.
I'll stand in
Alright.
front of Astrid.
Yes,
as good
yes.
faith.
Stand behind the.
I
stand
then begin
behind
to
the
stand
big
in front
guy.
of
Aria, you
Aria.
just keep doing you,
Yes.
guys. Okay, I grab Domino by the collar. Like, okay, man, you just pop. Sit him beside me. You just stay here.
I let that happen.
Cal?
Once everyone is a reasonable distance away, Kalakath pulls both
60
arms
feet.
to the left or right of him. And the bandages seemingly just, without any external force, seemingly just fall off. His arms steadily look like they're about to transform as they were before, but they never seem to complete it. The coin floats out of his pocket and in front of his hands, or in front of his chest. And instead of a roar this time, he slams his hands together on the center of the coin, like he was clapping. And he casts Thunder Wave.
Is that a circle or a cone?
It is a 15-foot cube originating from me.
I see.
So
With that, there's this huge
Almighty foot.
as it echoes outwards and like there are many like bats who go flying upwards into the air. It's this blast and rubble and shrapnel begins flying its way outwards. Everyone's gotten well out of the way as it goes flying upwards, like the shattering. And with that, you reveal a large portion of what was rubble. And you can see now this large bugbear arm and hand currently in the back of the building, what would have been the back, and the body's still covered in rubble. It kind of lays out where it's bloodied.
Ah. Well.
Hey, Kalakath, that was pretty cool.
Did you find anything?
Is this the giant bugbear from before, or
This is,
can I tell?
or at least the arm. At least it's something of the same size in terms of the arm. And on that fourth finger is that large ring.
Well, I feel bad for the poor fella, but I don't think he'll mind if I'll be taking this. And I reach down and I try to pluck the ring from the finger.
Roll a dex check, or actually roll a dexterity saving throw.
And before I do it, I say, yeah, I there's something here. Stay back though, could be dangerous. And I reach down to pull the ring off the finger.
He
I
really
think
cares
this is
about
actually.
us.
I think you get a choice between acrobatics or athletics. That's actually what you get.
Oh, so I can't use my current roll that I already made.
You could take the
dexterity
dice.
saving throw.
What was just? I'm pretty sure you'll be good. What was the roll?
It was a dirty 20.
Yeah. Regardless if it even take away your modifier, you would have beaten this. As you reach down for the ring and you begin to like put your hand on either in like the clasp and slowly pull it, the arm itself springs to life and reaches to grab outwards as you and you take a few steps back. A piece of the rubble just kind of shifts and crushes the arm further as it goes like it seems to strain in pain before falling limp again.
Hey, big fella. You speak my language?
No reply as the rubble covers its body and face.
Give me that fucking ring. And I reach for the ring a second time.
Is everything alright over there?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine. Stay away.
roll an athletics check as you grab. You're like, fucking give me that ring. Oh my god.
That's great. We're menaces.
I got a 13.
Absolutely.
With the you grab onto it, the hand starts to fight you a little bit as you're like left, right, left, and you're kind of getting drugged. You're like your right foot kind of drags to the left a little bit, and then your body drags to the right a little bit as it's kind of like fighting.
Damn, fucking.
And then eventually there's a as you
We
flip
seem
backwards
struggle
and you
down.
crash onto your back with this large ring that as soon as it's not on his hand, it shink and almost squishes your fingers as it shrinks down to your size, and your it goes into the air spinning before you catch it in your hand.
Ow!
Wow. That's
And-
He said I did catch it in my hand.
You do it shrinked, did a little spin in the air, and as it was falling, you caught it right before it fell onto your face. And it hurt your knuckles as your knuckles slammed together as like this really instant magical change. And the hand is like slightly flailing until eventually it like loses its energy again and starts to rest gently.
Well,
And we-
the one
we
good
saw
thing
that?
about this whole thing
You guys
is
have walked up at this
technically
point as
isn't
he falls
defiling
back.
a dead body.
I'd like to try to see if I could clear the rebel from his face.
You've not quite
Guys,
made it
look
yet.
out, it's a bugbear there. He
What the
he's under
bloody
the
hell are you
rubble.
doing?
Don't touch his hand. He'll swing at you for just because.
And that's about time everybody reaches him as
Oh.
Calicat's on his back, and you've now
And
like
they call me criminal.
He's-
goddamn
Let's
thing.
clear the bloody rubble off this fella and let's ask him what
Yeah,
the
we
hell
can-
happened.
We have a lead. We can ask questions. And I start helping
Yeah, we
and
clear
also
the rubble
doing-
off the man.
Yeah,
clear his face at least.
I also help with.
everybody gets together, pulling off the rubble. Some of the stronger people focusing on it. Naomi as well.
I inspect my newfound ring.
You're,
know
you're,
what you
tur-
could
you're
help?
turned around like my precious style as you look at it, and as the moonlight hits the ring, there's a small glint of magical energy as you hold it to yourself. Calicath, roll a
Stash this
perception check.
You know, you could help out too.
Zatir,
Yeah,
you too, since you
I got-
looked up.
I got wounded in the rubble.
Oh, poor baby. Get the fuck over here.
I got a 10.
10. And Zatira, since you looked up from helping out with the rubble, roll your perception check.
My perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Perception.
perception check.
That's a natural 20, total 24.
Calicat,
Oh, wow.
you're not too focused on anything around you as you kind of turn. You're like looking at this, and then you turn your head over your shoulder to yell back at Zatira. Zatira, as you're saying that, everyone's been helping out with the rubble, moving the stuff, and we've almost gotten the face excavated by now. But as you didn't quite notice it with everybody going on, but you look just past Calicath a little bit off to the right, standing on a piece of rubble, as peaceful as can be, arms directly back behind, like to his left and right, almost to his waist, standing, looking forwards, just straight at the tree line. Pearl just stands there, looking just at the trees. You, for a moment, looked back and thought he was helping, but he just stands there, almost awkwardly, a small like sway in his body as he does so.
You say his hands behind his back?
No, by his side. Either hand, both
Oh,
on his
okay.
side. You're looking at his back
call
right
it
now
Pearl.
as he looks towards the tree line.
I call out to Pearl. Pearl. Pearl,
No
hello?
reply.
I will approach and then try and get his attention.
When you start approaching and some of the rubble moves, and you're like, Pearl, Pearl. His head turns around as though he was just in deep thought, and he looks at you and goes, yes, yes, Zatira, what can I do for you?
What were you staring at out there?
Out there? And he looks back off to the tree line, just into the void of darkness, and he goes, I don't know, I had a feeling.
What sort of feeling?
It's hard to explain, really. Like something's out there. Far. Like I need to go south.
Satira will take a quick glance, like, over where he was looking. Is there, like, any
Darkness,
strange
tree line. It is south, not the direction you guys came from. You guys came from the north. But other than that,
Satira wants, Satira wants to, like, insight if he was, like, almost charmed or something like that.
Go ahead and roll an insight.
That is a total of 11.
As you are inside, as you're looking at him and you're trying to determine if he's charmed or not, you're you know, kind of following his shoulder and looking at that, and you look back at him. It's at this point more confirmed for you. There's something really odd happening. You can't determine if it's magical or anything along those lines, but he doesn't seem like he's been quite himself, especially since he got shooken up. Could be the nerves getting to him.
Pearl, I'm starting to get a little concerned for you.
Concerned for me? It's concerning as how much time we're wasting here. We need to go.
Yeah, we have a lead that we're digging up right now, if you recall.
Well, and he looks back over. At this point, the bugbear is almost fully excavated, and he kind of stares at it and he goes, put your heads to it. Like, we didn't see them on our way down. They're obviously heading south. They have no other place to go. Except for back to town. Which we just came from. And he kind of like looks forwards to the tree line, and his eyes look upwards to that large hill that once had the spire. It just makes sense, right?
You said that you had a feeling of heading south earlier. And before this, you were possessed by Y and gave us a pretty strong lead of where the heck they were heading right now.
I do remember that happening. I gave the mask, and he points over. Points over to Arya. I give the mask to Arya. It's no longer in my possession.
Right. I don't think you need the mask in your proximity now for something to be happening to you.
You think something's wrong with me?
I think you're being used as a device.
And like, there's like a flush of anger over his face that's just unbecoming of him. And he kind of more aggressively goes, I think that we're getting ourselves distracted minding a bugbear when we need to get ourselves south. How long have we wasted here? How long?
Stick closer to us. And if you feel like you're about to zone out again, let us know, right?
Sure. Let's just... Sorry. And he starts to walk back with you.
Right. Stay in our sight next time. Then I will head back over and finish the digging out the bugbear.
About the time you turn around and start to walk, Astrid picks up this large boulder and reveals, you kind of, like the dust kind of kicks up, he reveals the face of the bugbear, breathing. His face is like, you can see the bone in his side of his cheek. You can see like a very weak breath of compression. You can see this overgrowth form still exists in his eye. One of his eyes looks like it's wounded beyond repair.
Hey boss, you okay? Talk to us.
And as he says that, like,
Also,
blood splurts into the air like a fountain.
Is this the same cleric bugbear?
This is the same cleric bugbear.
That's him.
Someone
Oh,
needs
goodness.
to treat him if we're gonna be asking him questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast
I look at Arya.
Healing Hands. Yes, I've got him. And I do the thing where my flowers grow a little bit on the halo around my shoulders and push 10 HP into him.
With like you can see a little bit of light kind of envelop him in his voice. Like he starts, like the blood still smears over his face, and his wounds just slightly close, and he's still covered in rubble, but he's looking better than he was. And a voice echoes out.
Yes, us.
Him? Is that what you said?
I think you said you
Saying thank you.
is referring to us.
He said thank you. Okay, I didn't really. Hey, listen, we're gonna get you out of here. It's perfectly fine. It might take a second, might be a little uncomfortable, but we can get you out.
What happened here?
Yeah,
Other than the obvious.
I want to see if I can,
Yeah.
like, talk to him, because maybe a familiar voice will calm him down. Like,
Yeah.
While they're talking, I'm gonna continue to excavate,
Mhm.
so we can do multiple things at once.
Astrid?
I'm gonna join him.
Now,
Oh.
I asked him.
Can
a
you tell
question
me-
about it all.
can you tell me what happened?
Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah,
am
I
I
can't hear
cutting
anything.
out? Oh, interesting.
You weren't
guess,
saying
yeah.
anything.
We didn't hear you.
It was
All we heard
nothing
was
at all.
you.
I think my
when
mic's
you-
cutting me out. He says with his dark, gravelly voice and tone as it reverberates, and like the stone itself kind of shakes as you're moving some of it. And he goes, "The ones you were looking for, they were here. They were here."
Did they tell you what they were
And they,
looking for when they came back?
They weren't looking for anything. God said to stop them. We tried.
They just came through here on a warpath?
They didn't want us stopping them.
Do you know what they were trying to do? What was their plan that you were trying to stop?
It sounds like they were just killing them.
Where did they go, senor?
What was their plan that you were trying to stop too?
No. I don't know where they went. I just know that we were to stop them. We quickly gave up. But it seemed as though we had already made them far too angry. They attacked me in my own chapel after we had already called people off. We weren't going to die for why. But then they made that decision for us. We didn't know how strong they were.
You had
So-
spies and they figured you out. And so they came to clear you out after that, huh?
Why, let us know they were coming through. So I told them, I issued an ambush. Everything else followed from there. They didn't see any path for repentance. Said to exterminate those who are undeserving. Though the masked one did. The one with the
So-
thunderous voice.
You're saying that one of your gold masks, said to kill the unclean ones, or?
And he kind of looks at you inquisitively, and his voice bellows, and he goes, "I was told."
You were told, yes. Okay. And gotcha. Okay, I'm not too familiar with this whole why thing. You'll have to forgive me. When
He's
when we
their
get you
god.
out, he's their god. Okay, cool. Well,
He's also got a tie to the gold masks, and that gold mask we encountered earlier.
okay. Well, I'd love to hear more while we're excavating. You're not going anywhere anytime soon. The
And
more we know, the better.
And when
We
you
don't
say
seem to know
that,
about ourselves.
Pearl kind of interjects as people are digging out, but you gather that this is like his bot, like this is going to take some time. It's already been about 30 to 35 minutes of just doing the head and everything. And Pearl kind of goes, okay, we got our information. Why are we wasting our time with a bugbear? It's evident that this guy serves a Y, and we have a heading.
Pearl, I think you're possessed. Gonna be honest.
Si, senor. I agree. You're acting pretty, weird.
Yeah.
Certainly
And
being
that's coming from
skewed,
you.
that's for sure.
There's a
Yeah.
bit of an eye roll as he takes a few steps backwards. And there's like a very dark, gravelly tone for Pearl. And he pulls at his waist. And there's a punk as a cork envelops from his waist belt. I see it. You're all working with him then. And as soon as he says that, he drinks a vial, and his form begins to shimmer, and his body disappears, and you can hear footsteps
What
running
the hell
off.
are you? Shite. Shout
Can
out.
I cast?
Shout out.
Ooh. Is there any way I could track him if I do survival?
You guys can try
I mean,
to. He's
immediately
running.
disappeared.
He's running off.
Someone stop him.
I
He's just
okay.
invisible.
Can I cast Expeditious Retreat?
Oh well,
and
if he
try
just
catch
did
him?
that, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna dash after him.
Okay.
I'm
Well, we can't,
I'm
we can't really
also-
exactly see him.
I'm gonna
hard.
dash, and I'm going to activate my detect good and evil again, so I can get a track on him, and that
Mm.
lasts for 10 minutes. And also, my speed is 35, so hopefully I can catch up to him.
My Expeditious
Interesting.
Retreat lasts for 10 minutes as well.
All right. So detect good and evil. I'm gonna grab that spell real quick. Make sure it doesn't just tell you that there's something in the area, because I think it does. I don't think it gives you the direct exact location, but I
You-
could be wrong.
You know the location of any celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet,
Though.
and we did just have a ping on him when not much was happening. I would imagine it would work the same.
Interesting. Now, when I thought it was for any creature good or evil,
Yeah.
elemental, fiend,
Yeah.
fey, undead.
Aberrant, fey.
Oh, well then I see.
it'll
Unfortunately,
tell you.
okay. I misunderstood the spell because I was taking the good and evil, the alignment. So if that's the case, I'm going to give it to you because I didn't realize it, but he actually did not have any ping of celestial, fiend, undead. But as you cast this spell, Domino and Gleb and Astrid, you're the first to react. You guys need to both make perception checks at disadvantage.
Ooh, okay.
I try and also make a perception check just to like help point out where he might be going.
Oh, I got one.
1,
Ooh, I got a 17.
17. Zatira?
Let's go.
Will you want me to? Oh, okay. I didn't get confirmation if I was able to. That's 11.
11. You guys all go sprinting. Everyone breaks. There's the sound of footsteps on the rubble as you guys all head in like similar directions but slightly different, and you guys all go running off to catch. Now it takes an action to cast. So you spend the moment to cast detect good and evil. What's the distance?
Yes, 60 feet, and I can move 35 feet, which is 5 feet faster than normal people. So
60
Yes.
feet.
60 feet. Yep.
Take 6 seconds. Action. Dash. Cunning dash. You don't gather a ping.
Okay. Word. I'll continue heading in that direction that I.
Everyone breaks
Thank
off.
you,
Everybody
Eddie.
breaks running after Pearl. And unfortunately, as you guys go splitting off into different directions, jumping through the bushes and the trees, there's not much to be had except the only person that might have a chance is Arya. You go running in the same direction. What's your speed?
My speed, if I dash,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be 70 feet.
70, 30, 60,
Yes.
90, 30, 60.
Eventually, I'll
Unfortunately,
catch up to him if I'm going in the right direction.
unfortunately, he can cunning dash. So He can
Aw,
dash, cunning
yeah,
dash. He's
no.
gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he's absolutely outpacing.
So unfortunately, you go running. Your flowers are glowing, and unfortunately, you run for some ways. They're glowing white from the celestial behind you, and then they fade to a dark black as everybody breaks up into the jungle, each unfortunately finding their own share of nothing.
Damn it, Charles. Criminy.
Well, guys, we kind of know what direction he's going. He wants to go find
South.
them, and he wants to go south. That if we
The only thing is
start,
significance. I know south is the spire, but there's nothing left of it.
That doesn't mean he couldn't be there.
True, true.
I mean, if he's being possessed by Y, and Y's telling him south, isn't that a good lead?
See, Senor, we're wasting time. Let's go.
Criminy.
Calcath, you're still with the bugbear as you're enveloping things, and you're like you actually honestly, Calcath, you weren't helping. You're kind of standing there with the bugbear that's half buried, looking at him, and his one arm is free, but you're like close to him as he's looking.
Holding
Are you
Wearing the
enveloping
ring
him?
that you stole off his finger.
Yeah, you have the ring pocketed, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I pocketed that shit the minute I turned around.
Naomi's still working, and he looks up at you and he's like, "You gonna help?"
Why would I? The rest of the team just ran off, and now Pearl's gone too.
And as you say that, a flash of gold and a large fist grabs outwards. Roll a... Oh, sorry. Your choice of acrobatics or athletics.
Acrobatics.
He wants his ring
Nice. I got a 6.
6, as a large fist grapples you and pulls you close to his face. And it's not just his face. There's this massive golden mask lying over his eye, over the top of his mouth and his eyes, his nose slightly covered by it, horns out the end of the top. This is a much more like very elaborate, large mask, and it goes over the face of the bugbear as he pulls you closely, and you can smell the bugbear's horde breath as it rolls upwards.
Leave this vessel. Go south.
I'll do what you say if you'll give me one reason to do what you tell me. One good reason that I can't deny. Give it to me and I'll do it.
And as you say that, there's a crack in the face as Naomi slams his great hammer into the golden mask. And he looks up and he goes, and with that, the bugbear's unconscious, the mask shatters.
Good shit, Naomi.
I was trying to help. I'm sorry. He wasn't looking at me. And he takes a few steps backwards with a sudden, ah, shit. He was going to ask questions. I thought this was bad.
No. You did good. See, the thing was, I wasn't going to do it anyway. I lied.
Naomi's a little bit like, cool. This is fucked.
Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt. Is he still holding on to me tight, or is he?
No, as that happened, the hand went limp and like you completely got freed. The bugbear took advantage of everyone running off, or maybe not the bugbear, but.
Is the bugbear still alive, to my knowledge?
You spin a second, roll a quick medicine check.
Yes. 9.
9. It's not too hard to put your hand in front of his large face and feel a little bit of breath as Naomi did not go for a killing blow. He was just like reactively attacking.
Well, you didn't kill him. Number 2, I like the reflexes. Thank you.
That was fucked.
It was fucked, yes. That was very fucked, but you did a good job. It was a good kind of fucked. Good job.
Yeah, that also happened to Pearl. Is that gonna happen to like us? Is that like a problem that we should be like worried about?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Okay. That's like 2 in one night. That's fucked. Sorry, I said it again.
If it does happen to one of us, Do we agree a mace to the face is a good idea?
Yeah. That seemed to work.
Okay, we'll go with a mace to the face. Not much can smash up over here, anyways.
And pan back to you guys in the forest. You guys calling out Pearl, Pearl, Pearl. Nothing. Eventually, you guys give up your search. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'd like to give up my search.
No, you can do something if you have a plan.
No,
No plan.
Let's meet back up.
already walking back. Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to go south, my men's.
Let's meet back up with Cal and Naomi and make a plan about the bugbear, and then head south.
Astrid just murmurs number 3 on the list. That's all he murmurs as he leaves the forest.
You guys come out of the forest, and you guys can see from this break in the clearing as like that's where the shatter happened. Then the bugbear, like, you guys left unveiling this guy, and now Naomi has a bloodied hammer that kind of like drips a large amount of viscera onto the face of the unconscious bugbear, and Calicat's like grasping his like, he's like,
Before Naomi can spill the beans, well, does Calicat know they're back already?
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
People
There's no
show
beans
up.
to spill. Those beans have been spilled in front of all of you.
As they show up, before Naomi can say anything, Calicath waves back and says, "Hey, we decided to make an executive decision and put him down. Maybe we should leave."
Stira looks down at him, and then at Naomi, and then at Calicath, and then looks at Naomi, and then does an insight check, staring at Naomi's expression.
Go ahead. Go ahead, roll an insight.
That's a 4.
He's breathing heavy. He's panicked. He's.
Well, luckily for you, we got all of our questions out of him.
If we keep killing people, how are people gonna know our names?
Si, senor. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we don't want our enemies to know our names, because then that's more of a problem.
Domino, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I have not seen you kill a single person since you've joined our group, and everyone seems to know your name.
No, senor,
That's
not
true.
my name. My bruja's name. You know what? I assumed that's what he was talking about, his sword and stuff. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'd
Wanna
prefer
go
if my
back
enemies
home?
knew my name. The Devil King knew my name. Like, he was my enemy, I guess, you know.
You
That's
know
very
what?
cool, Arya.
On a second thought, coming to a desperate realization, despite all that has happened, I've begun to like Domino, and a crushing realization of why I hated him to begin with seems to land like a meteor onto my now caved-in forehead. You killed my friend. I forgot about that.
Oh. When was this, senor?
Maria, you killed Calicat's friend?
Yeah,
My
there's a bit of
best
history
friend.
here.
Your best friend?
Why have I forgotten?
Arya, no, don't, Arya.
A man only gets one best friend
A
throughout their
man
whole life.
only gets one best friend,
Oh.
and he's dead.
My best friend is Astrid. I don't think he's dying anytime soon. But I am sincerely sorry, senor. It must have been my magic.
Naomi also chimes in. Is this the best time for this?
No, I think we should be going south. But it has been something we never talk about. Clear the air,
Right.
as I do say.
Can
Some
I roll
drama
an
that we
insight
should have
check
handled
on,
a long time ago.
Roll an insight check
Senor.
on Domino to see if he's sincerely sorry or not.
Sure.
Do I roll anything? Because I am sorry.
Just
Well,
I'm
we'll
sure.
see. Go ahead, roll the check. And Domino,
got a
roll a
9.
persuasion check. You got-
Okay.
You got a 9.
23.
Let's
Oh
go.
my god.
Dumbest,
Yeah.
sorriest motherfucker ever.
Domino,
18 plus.
this is the
maybe.
one thing you got above a
He's gonna be
20.
sorry.
Domino
Body.
actually
Yeah.
genuinely
Yeah,
feels bad.
Bodied.
In fact, you get a glimmer of Domino you have not seen. A glimmer of someone who's been in his way out of his depths for some time and genuinely thinks about that death. You get a glimmer of somebody, not the I'm Domino. You get a glimmer of somebody hurt in a different way, in a self-repentance way.
Well, he did knock the shit out of you. I guess I can't really blame you for that. You're still not forgiven, but doesn't hurt as much anymore.
Si, senor. We may forgive, but I say we never forget.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
I pull out my notebook and write that down.
Bringing me to tears. Now let's get moving. If we're done with the drama, internal drama, let's... Please.
I hate the
They're
light.
only getting further away.
With that,
Let's just start sprinting, right?
yeah,
Let's just start.
Right, let's just hightail it.
Let's
Do I
hit
still
it.
have my expedition retreat? Can I just, like, go ahead of them?
We're at
you
two
can
groups that
until
we're
you get
chasing
exhausted.
now.
You would
I don't
get,
want
you would exhaust
exhaustion.
yourself. Yeah. If you
Yeah, I
go
don't
for
want
full
exhaustion.
sprint, but you guys get a jog on, and you guys go, okay, we gotta start catching up at some point. And
Yeah,
you guys,
picking up our pace. here.
everybody picks up their pace, and you guys start progressing. This isn't so much of a jump walk, and more of like a we're actually doing a proper jog. As you guys progress, you guys travel into the small valley in between this large hill that was the spire and the Felfang Enclave. And you go down that valley and eventually start heading your way back up this large hill. Astrid, this was the same hill that you took that rest on and drew that painting. As you look to your right, about getting 75% way up this large hill, you can see the beautiful open circular pocket of the ocean. And then off to the right, that city of, now it's too dark to see except for some of the lights that appear that in like doorways. I think the city of Crossroads, everybody can see that moment, but they're not really, yeah, you're probably not taking too much time, but you guys know that that's all out there as you guys go up this hill. And eventually you guys reach this. Yeah, go ahead.
As Astrid is running by and you describe that to me, I go, man, it sure is pretty, but boy do I hate it. I like it this far away. Anyways, let's go.
Astrid,
No
Astrid, do you
more
not-
external monologue. I hate this. I'm ready to go.
Astrid, do you not like town?
No, Arya, I hate this place. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Crossroads is the first town this man has ever visited, and this is what happened, so I can't blame him for not liking it.
Maybe I'm new. I like it. It's not heaven. No, don't get me wrong. But nothing's heaven. I look like a little bit up and to the left.
You can brood later.
Wouldn't
Had
say
it not
that's
been for
brooding.
Kalakath, Zatira, and even Domino, pretty bad things probably would have happened.
Yes,
So, thanks, the three of you.
No problem, my friend. My best friend.
Still on the fence about Arya, but you're holding up pretty well. Now,
Give them a thumbs up.
let's go get some fucking answers.